States, and he's got Heyman. He's got Heyman. Figure four times.
Yeah, man. So like I was saying, bro, freaking, I go out there. I'm like, I didn't even zero my weapon. I said, F it. I'm gonna just go. And the first one, 18. And then I'm like, fuck it.
Damn.
I was like, oh, like, whatever. I went back, 17. I was like, oh, well, I gotta go zero. So I went and zeroed. Everything was perfect, bro. Like, it was perfect groupings, everything. It's like, what are you doing here? It's like, I don't know. I can't figure it out. So I went back. I saw a 12. I was like, yeah. And then you know how your company said you only get 3 per day. So I got kicked off the range. And I went home and cleaned up my weapon. I was like, I'll be back Thursday. I came back. I went and I shot a 12. That's the one that I shot a 12. I was like, let me go zero just real quick. Zero, perfect grouping. I went back again. And then I finally got my qualification. And again, I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, it was 25. But have you done it, Tim? Since it's, well, that's just so, that's the barriers are steady, man. Like, I all my, like my postures and all my fundamentals when it comes to kneeling and standing now. One time, like, that's you know how they have like it's like a staircase type of border. I,
Yeah.
I was trying to get to the top when I was over here tiptoeing like this.
Yeah, I hate those barriers.
Bro, I'm gonna have to use a fucking sandbag to stand on for that one. Anyways,
Shit, that shit is awkward for me because I'm right-handed, but I had to shoot left-eyed. So like, it's
oh
really
shit.
awkward for me. It's really awkward for me to be on that barrier. Like, I have to have them flip it before I start and all kinds of shit.
Well, shit. Hey, I wanted to bring that story up because welcome to the Figure Four show. I'm starting to do it like this all the time. But listen, this episode we're gonna talk about what's on my left, the WrestleMania 39 results. We're gonna talk about things that we predicted in these 2 days and how it pans out for the next three pay-per-views going forward. I believe if like this WrestleMania 39 was great. I loved every second of it. Of course, you had your Aaron Wright piss matches, but for the most part, the ones that we expected ended up. I mean, besides like the injuries and stuff, like especially Finn Balor, that shit was horrible. But we're gonna start with night one, okay? John Cena, Austin Theory started off. Austin Theory, of course, wins the match as he needed to, right? So like we're getting that momentum put forward with Austin Theory. Tim was first. Like I haven't talked to you about it, Nas, but Tim was first on this group to like the theory moving forward from the cell phone selfie guy, and he was the first one to bring that up. And I didn't like the kid, and he's growing on me, and I really like what he's doing. I like the momentum he's doing. Tim, I want you to go first with this one because you were the first one out of this figure four group, or now we're known as the Ligma World. W.O, baby. I want you to talk about that because it was a good match. John Cena doing what he does best, and getting young kids over. So and let's not get Nas started with John Cena, but go ahead.
Yeah. So right out the gate, we know John Cena's at that era where he's just putting over young talent. Nas didn't want to hear that. He wanted John Cena to win again. I don't know why, but like, don't get me wrong, big part of my childhood. But that dude got to go. Like he ain't it. Like, but no, nonetheless, him and John and Austin put a good match together. Excuse my voice. I don't know what's going on with it, but yeah, him and Austin put a good match together. Like I said, the moving on past the selfie kid. When Theory first came on the scene, I'm on record on this show talking about how much I hated the kid.
Yeah,
So he has grown on me a lot since he switched his gimmicks. Just taking and trying to look at it not so blindly. The kid's actually really talented. He's decent on the mic. I won't say great yet because he has a little bit of things he can clean up, but he's decent on the mic and he can go in the ring.
yeah.
I don't know why I didn't like him at first because he can go. So I think him winning, giving him the momentum. Yeah, John put him over, but this match really didn't mean that much to me for him beating John because I expected him to.
Right.
It'd have meant more if he would have fought somebody else that, like Bobby or something, that was on a tear right now, that actually meant something, who didn't make the card, by the way, which is crazy. But, I mean, all in all, though, it was a good match. I'm glad John put over young talent once again. I like to see what they're doing with Austin because it's still not clear what they're doing after that. They put him against a match against Ray, who, no offense, Ray's a GOAT, but Ray's not doing nothing right now either, so why is he fighting him?
Makes sense. What's up, Nas?
This match, it did what it needed to do. It started off the show. It started the weekend off. Yeah, I wanted to see Cena win just to put over a different young talent because the previous episode I said that I wanted Cena to win so that Braun Breaker could come up from NXT and do what he needed to do for that. But I guess they had different plans in mind because Braun didn't even show up on Raw. We know why. I guess we'll get to it. Daddy Vince is back. It's gonna be horrible going forward. So I'm in for the long haul. Let's see how this, because I'm talking, just like fast forward for a second. Raw after Mania was fucking trash.
Trash.
It was absolutely trash.
Worst one ever in life, and you already know why, because Mr. Mustache Mountain want to come back and
Yeah.
shit.
No less
Anyways,
Stash Vince. Pedo Stash Vince is back.
anyway, anyways, we're going into a match that I was on record as going to take a piss, and it panned out to be an awesome women's title match, and we're talking about Charlotte Flair getting defeated by Rhea Ripley, the Royal Rumble winner of this year. She's on a hot streak. I really didn't look forward to this. I was really looking forward to the Belair Asuka when it came to the women's division, but this one ended up making me watch. Like I held my piss for this one. They really did good. I really loved it. I loved the whole physicality with both. It's good for real. I'm like looking back. I used to hate that she was part of Judgment Day, but I think this helped her in confidence because to me, like before that, I didn't know where she was going. We all knew she was a talent, but we didn't know like the storyline going through. So with her getting into the Judgment Day, I think it wasn't like something like boosted, but it gave her some confidence, and you can see she's the goat right now. Her and Bianca, they're perfect to hold the titles right now as far as the women's division. And I'm happy that I got to watch this match because I really was like, we keep making fun. Yeah, I'm about to go do my taxes at this match or something like that. So Naz, I want you to start off with this one, then Tim, you can end it.
This match was, to be honest with you, it was fucking phenomenal. The story they told during this match, the false finishes, the length of the match surprised me too. It went over 15. I was really surprised they got that much time. I could say it was better than Bianca and Asuka. That's a
Yes.
fact. Way better than Bianca Asuka. And a little fun fact: Rhea Ripley is the only woman in WWE to hold all women's titles. She's held the WWE, the UK NXT champ. She was NXT Women's Champ, tag titles, Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion. She's the only one to do it.
Grand Slammer.
Grand Slammer plus one if you add the UK
Yeah.
Women's Champion. That doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, this match was from start to finish. It was great, and honestly, I thought they were gonna let Charlotte retain. I wanted Rhea to win, and I'm happy she did because I went into this match thinking they're gonna let Charlotte win.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought for sure Charlotte was going to be on her queen stuff, and they were going to make a big rivalry out of this and keep going. The one comment I had about this match was not only was this match great, the cameraman messed up, but the camera on Charlotte at the end, she was genuinely happy for Rhea, and that's something you don't get to see very often because the cameramen don't show it. But that slip right there told me everything I needed to know.
Yeah,
Like
that's perfect.
Rhea's it. Rhea's it for this business right now. So that little slip of her smiling, looking up at the ring, happy, genuinely happy for Rhea was big for me. I mean that I don't know what more you could get for Rhea, right? Like you said, coming in, she's red hot right now. She's doing everything, even being a part of that silly group. She's doing the best that she can, and she's holding the title. I'm really looking forward to seeing her and Bianca go at it. I mean, because that's got to happen next, right? It's got to. I mean, I
He
don't.
he agrees. So we'll go from there. I'm not going to this next one because that was the main event, and we'll talk about that after. But I want to go against. I'm going to go with the Birthday Boy versus Seth freaking Rollins. Another good match. Logan Paul, and I want to talk about this. Tim, you're gonna go next. Why? It's crazy that they allowed him to zip line because since '98 when that tragedy happened, they have stopped all types of things coming from the roof. Like any of that hanging off, anything like they stopped that. And for them to do it, because I was just watching the WrestleMania YouTube where they were talking about the backstage during the stuff, and like the backstories of them preparing for the match, and Logan Paul goes in there on interview and says like, yeah, they kept saying no to me for my zip line. They said no to me last time, but I told him like, dude, it's my birthday. Give me a birthday gift, and they gave him that zip line. That was a good entrance. Of course, Seth being the greatest of all time right now. He's the best in this era. Aaron, I cannot believe you said Cody Rhodes. Oh my gosh, I only want to talk about that. But this match, 5 star. Versus 20. I think I was a little too generous with these 5 stars, but there was a lot of 5 star matches. This was one of them. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, another outstanding performance from Seth. But even bigger, Logan Paul, because we know this isn't his full time gig. I mean, we talk about it all the time on this cast. When he was first coming on the scene, I was the most hesitant. Everybody else was like, "Oh, let's see, let's see." And I'm like, "No, dude, we don't need no room for celebrities," you know. But Logan different. That
Yeah,
man, I put it in the chat. He needs to drop everything and get a full time contract for the fans because he can
facts.
go. He puts on great matches. I agree. That was a 5 star match. It was great. I'm glad they let Seth win too. They didn't let him get beat by a celebrity. That was amazing because I was kind of nervous that was going to be something that happened and Seth would fall back down to the random mid card stuff again. Because hopefully we start seeing Seth in the main events again. I mean, he deserves it. He's just where he
Yes.
should be. But but yeah, I think Seth, man, him and KO, them two guys, man, they're different.
Yeah.
They're different, man.
Go ahead, Nas.
Man, Logan's ring IQ is. I'm sorry. There's people who've been in the business and we see them like week to week, or Logan's killing these guys right now. Like I know it's on record where some of the superstars who are always on the show are like, "Hey, I hate when people come in. They should start taking main event spots and stuff like that." Well, guess what? Logan's work ethic shows for itself. You could tell he puts in the work because every match he's had, you can see that he's gotten better. That first match, that tag match he did with the Miz, it it was what it was. He was green. He was learning. Miz had most of the ring time. Logan did take some big bumps in that match, but then you go from that match, you go against Miz in the next match. Then you get a title opportunity against Roman. They're not just giving that shit out for free. He earned that shit. They really rewarded his work that he put in with that
Hell
match
yeah.
against Roman and a big pay per view. What pay per view was it? That was a clash at
Crown
the
Jewel or
castle.
no?
The UK one.
Crown Jewel. It was Crown Jewel. But dude, he had a phenomenal match against Roman, and then you got this match against Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins could go, and he was right there with him. And then let's just talk about I called it when Prime Man came down with the ramp with Logan. I said it was KSI, and it was fucking KSI's goofy ass. But that was a good
That
little
was a
spot.
funny
He took
high.
a bump, bro.
Yeah,
He
that
took
was
a
a funny
bump.
high spot.
He took a bump, a table bump at that. Like honestly, this was the match of the whole show for me.
Ooh, that's nice. That's a nice take.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Tim. You wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was just gonna make a comment on what he was saying about Logan being rewarded for his hard work. You know, we talked about in the group chat. I watched the post interview with Triple H, and he had made that comment. Said we got some talent that are upset that this celebrity came in and took time. He's like, well, he come in, he did it better than you would ever do it. Like, I only had shots at your talent. Right, that's telling your talent step up, be better. Which
Yeah,
another tweak off of that was coming from the next night when Roman had made the comment daring somebody to come take it from him, come
yeah.
be a better, like be the next generation. And Triple H commented on that and said, "I like that he's saying that He's daring someone to be better, be the future, and that's a lot of hints towards Roman isn't done, but there's a lot of hints that Roman's ready to be off the top of the mountain. And just kind of take a backseat role, let someone else go forward. And they're trying to find who that guy is. Because even though they're throwing Cody at us, I don't think Cody's their guy. I don't believe that. I haven't believed that. So we'll see who really kind of. I mean, there's guys that's on the roster, been on the roster the last 10 years that need to be at the top of the mountain. So maybe
My
we'll let those
question,
guys do it.
I wanted to save that, but I might end up forgetting. So I want to bring that up now. Who do you guys think besides Seth Rollins? Let's put Seth Rollins in his GOAT status over here. Who do you think besides Seth Rollins do you think can do that? Because for me, it's the guy that's making the Intercontinental Championship prestigious again. I really think Gunther could go. I really think he could be that guy. I really do.
Yeah, yeah, I think Gunther could do it, but you know how I feel. I love KO.
Yeah.
I really think they should have gave him the strap 2 years ago. I understand why they didn't because of the whole storyline, but KO at the time should have got the strap then. I think he can carry it,
That's a good
and I
point.
think I think we're 2.5, 3 years out from Theory being the guy. I honestly do. He's just getting better and better as time goes on. I think he's going to be the guy. Him and Gunther probably are going to have classics. They're going to be that back and forth type of thing.
John
But
Cena JBL type shit right there.
I think we're two. I think we're 2.5, 3 years away from Theory being the main guy.
Before we move on, I want to just clarify something. When I said the match of the show, meaning that was my favorite match of night one, not
You're
of
still
the in
crazy.
total.
You're
Huh?
still crazy. You're
Why
still crazy.
the tag match at
The
the
main
end?
event, bro. The main event was out dog.
No, the
And
main
you
event was fire.
and you called it. You called it, Naz. You called that one. We'll talk about that later. But we're gonna
Yeah.
move on. Um, I'm gonna generally ask this, and you guys either say yes or no. Do you guys want to talk about the Becky Lynch leader? Okay, we're gonna go over. So we're gonna pass that one.
This match.
Do you want to talk about the Braun Strowman Alpha Academy one? I will
Yes.
say, I
I
will
got a
say
few
this.
comments on that.
Yes. Okay. I will say they got it right because I remember Naz, you picked Ricochet and Braun in the last podcast. I I always said Street Profits were going to win regardless. I really think that the Street Profits are the tag team. Like, if you're not talking New Day or the Usos, that's the next tag team you talk about is the Street Profits, and I believe they're next up to carry these titles. Yes, they have Kevin Owens and Sammy, and we'll talk about that later. But at the end of the day, like Street Profits, man, before they even separate, because they can both have their singles go. They still have a lot to do with the tag team division. Like they have so much to offer. They're one of the pioneers, not pioneers, but they're one of the top tag teams that can keep the division, going. I just like the results. It was there was a lot of good parts over here. Like Ricochet doing that freaking off the top rope backflip on people outside. um, I believe the Viking Raiders are in the wrong era. I think they're a 1990s type of team or a 1980s team. They're really good work. They as big men, they can move. I was a fan of them as War Machine. And then Alpha Academy, it's what it is. But this was another one of those. That was a really good match too. By the way, it wasn't a 5 star, but there was a lot of good spots where like I'm like, damn, that was an awesome ass spot. So I was spazzing, but you say you had a few things you wanted to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I agree with that. This match was its literal spot fest. It was get as much shit as you can get in that time slot.
Yeah,
The reason why I picked Braun and Ricochet was mainly because they've been throwing a lot of little seeds of Montez going its single route. But I do agree the Street Profits have a lot to accomplish in the tag division because they are your traditional tag team. They've been a tag team. They mesh. Those dudes, the chemistry they have, their tag IQ, cutting the ring in half. They do it, and they both could go too. But yeah, this was a spot fest. That's really what I wanted to say. It was a spot fest. I'm happy the Street Profits won. I'm kind of happy they didn't do even though like we were kind of like talking, joining MVP, the Hurt Business thing. Like I see that happening. I just don't see it happening yet. And honestly, I think with Vince back, I think the Hurt Business is done. To be honest with you, I don't think they're gonna throw any more of the Hurt
Which
Business. I
sucks,
think
man. That
because
sucks.
think about it, right? The Hurt Business was cool when it first came out. You had Shelton, you had Cedric, you had Bobby, and MVP. MVP could talk his ass off on the mic. You had three dudes who could go in the ring. But right now, you just had your big man, Omos, who's supposed to be catching fire and be the reason why people want to. The Hurt Business was trying to come back. He just fucking lost to Brock, which we all knew was gonna happen, but we all knew he was losing to Brock. That wasn't a question. But your faction is not gonna gain any popularity or any type of heat losing big matches like that. You have to win some, and they lose all of them.
What you got on that one, Tim?
Yeah. Excuse me. Honestly, man, I watched it. I didn't watch it. Y'all know I was doing my calculus homework the rest of the night one. So I was picking my moments. So I watched it, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I actually missed who actually won. I had to ask Tia. I was like, who won? You know, because I'm deep in this project, you know. But no, I agree. The Street Profits. When you talk about tag teams, not only are they mesh well and they're good well, but they're the only other tag team outside of the current champs and the Usos that have any fan support. Nobody really cares about any of the other tag teams, which is I was so excited for Braun's return. I don't know what the hell they're doing with him.
Right.
Like they just let this man doing all kinds of random stuff. Like I thought Braun was gonna come back and be in the main event spot again. I don't know what he's doing. Like it's just if you're not gonna put the tag team going on with Ricochet, what are we doing with him? You know,
Yeah.
I don't get it. So I made a comment in the chat too, and I asked, you know, the Alpha Academy looks like it's about to explode. Otis going to go be Otis. What we think about? I know we're talking about WrestleMania, but I just want to bring it. What we think about Chad Gable going against Austin Theory for the United States title?
I like that. I like that a lot. I, 'cause people don't talk about Chad Gable a lot. He can go. And now that he has this funny character that he does now, like it just adds on to his. He's a midget Kurt Angle to me.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like I hate when people they try to recreate wrestlers they already had. But Chad Gable is literally Kurt Angle. Like
Yeah.
let him go, let him go, let him be Kurt Angle. It's fine. Like I
All
don't
right.
care that he's a knockoff because he's also an Olympic. He's also an Olympic wrestler. Like he has, like that's who he is. It isn't like they try to force it and pretend that he was an Olympic wrestler and give him that gimmick. That's who he really is. He's
Yeah.
already funny. He already got the fans laughing at his joke. Bro, let him be Kurt Angle. Let him be this generation's Kurt Angle. Just stop it.
How you feel about that, Nas?
I got a comment. So Alpha Academy, when Gable first came out, when he was with Kurt Angle's son, you know,
Jordan.
when they were, this dude Jordan, when they were together, I liked them as a tag team. They could work. Now, if you let Otis go, let him go, right? We brought up the other Olympian in the last cast. You had the Gable Stevenson. Put Chad Gable and Gable Stevenson in as a tag team. Now they're more, how you say it? They have more credentials.
They're more Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas.
Yeah,
Yes.
but at the same time, they're gonna get over it. You have Gable on the mic and you just let Gable Stevenson just work everyone on the mat, stretch everybody. It's gonna work.
Yeah,
You put two Olympians together, it's gonna work.
So I'm glad you brought it up because I gave up hope about him coming because I thought he was coming when he made his when he came. What was that last WrestleMania? Or
Last
Rumble?
WrestleMania, yeah.
Yeah, he came last WrestleMania that one spot. We haven't seen him since. So I just gave up hope that he was ever coming. But if they do that, I'm okay with that because I agree. I think they can get over with the audience, and then they can let Montez go be single.
Yeah.
I think that's the replacement for Street Profits. I mean, Chad Gable because I think Chad Gable would go in the independent like singles. I don't know that he can do the main event thing just because you know how people are with size, man. They're not gonna get behind that. So he's always gonna be stuck at the Intercontinental United States level, which is fine, especially with Theory holding. I would be fine with Chad going with Gunther and running it out, just putting on a straight. You got the ring general versus someone who's like IQ is ridiculous in the actual wrestling ring in the actual wrestling world. I think it would be great to see. I agree. I think Gable Stevenson and Chad's gonna make a great tag team, but I still selfishly want to see Chad Gable get a singles run just once. I mean, I think he's good enough to get it. I think it's a shame if we never do give it to him. I think it's a shame.
I truly agree. You guys made some good points.
I got something to add for the since we on the tag team thing. I brought up Gargano last week. I think they sent him to NXT because Ciampa is almost ready to come back. I want to see
DIY,
DIY with a main event,
DIY.
with a main roster run because their NXT shit was amazing. I want to see
Yeah.
DIY with
I
a main
was
roster.
so heartbroken when they broke up, bro, because DIY was one of my favorites, man.
So I get it, y'all NXT guys, but bro, at the main level, as a regular fan, I don't want to see them. Like,
Bro, they can
I don't
go,
know.
man.
I get it, but I honestly do not get the hype with no offense to Joey, but I watch his matches and I'm bored watching his matches, bro. I don't know if it's wrong matchups. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I just cannot get behind Joey. I don't know what it is.
He's a
I don't know
tag
why.
team. He's a tag team wrestler, man. He needs
I mean,
Tommaso.
maybe that's it. I felt like Ciampa, I kind of liked a little bit, but they didn't let him work enough. You know, I didn't get to see
Yeah.
that same thing with I feel the same way about Dexter. I feel like Dexter's nice, but they're not really letting him go. You know, so I don't know what's going on.
Hey, now that's a great point. But now we go into these last two matches. I saved these two matches to talk about because I was excited for only those two really like when we were talking about it. So we're gonna talk about father versus son. The only thing I want to talk about is the entrances. Dom's bro, Dom's was so fucking hilarious, man. It was so hilarious. And then
Yo, what was that, though? What was that for Dom? What the hell was that?
I
Like,
love it. I
who
feel like
wrote
they're
that?
trolling.
Who wrote that and was like, this is gonna be fire? Like, who the hell wrote that? Like, there ain't no way, because they had to have been laughing, like, yeah, let's make fun of Dom. Let's make the crowd think it's a joke. There ain't no way you wrote that and was serious about it, bro.
That shit, it's so funny, bro.
Bro, like, I thought they was gonna disrespect and have him come out like Eddie. You know, kind of
Yeah,
disrespectful to Ray.
yeah.
And he come out like that, I was like, bro, what the hell is going on, man? That was the weakest, dumbest ass interest I've ever
So
seen, bro.
for me, the reaction you had, you're about one of a million people that said that. I really believe they did that on purpose. Was because they've been trolling since he did that arrest. Because do you remember the first time he got arrested on Thanksgiving? He's not gonna make it, and it drives off. I think this is perfect for him because we all want to hate this kid, and he's trolling us with these stupid antics.
You know what was even funnier was he failed getting his hood off like 3 times.
Trying to show his mask. He was trying to show the mask and he kept fucking up. I was like, oh shit. What do you think, Naz? What do you think?
Dude, Dom is a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. Like,
You sound like Chris Jericho. Yeah, but I'm a fucking idiot.
you made the list. Like, fucking Dom, man. As soon as they started showing him in the fucking jail cell, I'm like, oh man, they're about to do a prison type entrance. And then boom, put him in the vehicle. He comes out, he got the handcuffs on and shit. I'm like, bro, when you got in the vehicle, you had cuffs on. You didn't even have your jacket. So that's one. That means you uncuff me real quick. I gotta put my jacket on and my mask. Like, what the fuck is going on? That shit threw me off. But they let the right person come out with Eddie Guerrero's music. But I wish they let the whole shit play. He should have not even came out from the side. He should have rolled all the way down. Like they had that big ass stage, man. And you could tell that back part should have been able to open. Can you imagine you had the smoke and then the fucking lowrider come out?
So you remember Austin Theory didn't come off the left side. They had that little elevated thing where it opened for him to come out from the opposite side. You remember if you remember the entrance.
Had two.
Yeah,
but I'm saying like when
that side could have been where the car. That's where the car could have came from. You know what I'm saying? And it drove down like you said.
And even like when they did that straight camera. So for example, on Bianca's entrance where they had the girls dancing, if you look at the back, there's like a little ramp that came down and they had the light things on the side. It was like a little stage, but there was a ramp. So I assumed they were going to do something with that ramp and they did nothing with it. They had the two weird entrances with the vehicles on the side. I think it would have been cool had they used that entry part, like, because they would have gave it so much, like everyone would have been able to see it straight on instead of it being on the side, and the people who were sitting on that side had the full effect of seeing the vehicle come out from the tunnel. But that shit put a tear in my eye. Once I heard
I was gonna bring it up.
bro. I was like, oh man.
I was gonna bring it up because I texted Goosebumps, but I scrolled up and Tim already beat me to it. He already said Goosebumps before me, and I'm sitting here like, bro, this is legit emotions coming out right now because you haven't heard that on a live show since. You know what I mean? So for this, with you on this entrance, they should have prolonged it, right? Even if they do it the same way, right? Snoop Dogg music coming in, you do Eddie's theme. Only they should have done Eddie's theme until he got to the top and he did his little things and celebrate a little bit, just to have the song play a little longer. And then you have Rey Mysterio song 619, come on. But I totally agree. It literally should have been a little longer because it was only you heard Lie, Cheat, and Steal once. I wanted the crowd to sing it too, but they couldn't sing the first one because they're already shocked and popped about the song even playing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
overall, when it comes to this matchup, they got the right result. It's Hall of Fame Ray now. But to me, I think this is we should cut ties from the Mysterio drama now. Like it's done. We should cut it down. I don't know what you do with Ray. I don't know what you do with Dom. Let Dom be with Priest. I don't know, but I don't know what we want to do with Ray no more. Go ahead.
You know you're gonna get a 4-way, right?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Tim.
You're,
You gonna say it?
Go ahead, Nas. Go ahead.
you're gonna get we're getting a 4-way at Backlash.
What kind of 4-way?
So this is where I'm gonna throw a little take in here. Ray already got 4, right, with L.W.O.
Yeah.
He got the Llegado de Fantasma, right, and then he got himself. That's 4. There's only 3 guys in Judgment Day, or yeah. I think that Bad Bunny shit was a swerve. I think, remember, Bad Bunny and Damian Priest are friends.
Right, which they painted that picture perfect, right? When Dom and Bunny was going at it, Damien's like, "Why'd you get involved? Like, you should never got involved." He forced Damien's hand to stand with his brother in Judgment Day and go against Bad Bunny. It's I don't see Bad Bunny team with Judgment Day. I think Bad Bunny's gonna be with Ray. I think we just see one, like, I don't know who. Like, I don't know if we're gonna get 4-on-4 though. I thought you meant a tag team match is what I thought you was going with. I think it's gonna be Ray and Bad Bunny versus Damien and Dom, which could be good, but Dom needs to go. I've been saying that Dom needs to go back to NXT and work, man. He's not. He's still not there. Like, him and Ray put on a good match at Mania, kinda, but he's still not there, man.
You could tell Ray was carrying though.
Yeah, he's not. He's not there. I don't know why he's skipping. Like, I don't know if it's because he is the Legend's son or what, but he needs to get some more development if he's going to be anything like past this Judgment Day stuff.
I got a joke for y'all.
Go ahead.
Dom's the lock.
Played it yet? I haven't played it, but I watched YouTube's about that shit. The Lock. Does he come out the fucking what's it called?
Safe. The safe.
All right, so we saved this for last, of course, because this was the 6-star match. You called it, Nas. I didn't see it making sense that anyone would hold it, but hindsight 2020, it makes sense now. Now that I see what happened in Raw after Mania, seeing what happened with Cody, a lot of things to me I start circling. So great match, great spots. Well, you already know the Usos are one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and then you talk about two underrated people that finally get their flowers on the main event stage with Sami Zayn, who is white hot right now since the Bloodline storyline, and Kevin Owens, who is respected by everybody that's actual wrestling fans. Like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn winning, I didn't see it, but I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? Them winning, that was great, and you can see natural like emotions. Like you could see at the end when he did the third halua kick, you can see Kevin Owens leaning on that bottom rope, right? Once he gets to 1, 2, 3, he's just looking and gazing out there because now it's coming full circle. These vet kids are coming down to LA as an indie circuit, right? In LA, full circle goes around the world and do what they do just to main event WrestleMania, win some titles together. and they win titles against a record tag team historic record. It was beautiful. I wasn't mad at it. I know Naz, you called it when we talked about it to begin with, so we'll go with you first. But hey, look, I'm bummed. And what was worse is, my son Max is a Bloodline fan because he knows he's Samoan, right? So when he didn't get to watch the match because it was already midnight, I, he was eating his breakfast before daycare, and I gave him the last 10 minutes so he could see the finish. And like, bro, he was bawling in tears, and I'm like, man, that's the investment. You know what I mean? Like he loves wrestling just as much as I do, and when you see the emotions like that hurt me. I was like, damn, I should have showed him before he went to daycare because now he's gonna talk to the person that was watching him like, man, that was so lost. I had Sammy's. Oh, I don't know what I was like. It was so funny. It was so funny because he like to this day he will never. He hates Sami Zayn like because he beat him. He will never like cheer for him ever again. It's I just man, it's being a father, bro. I'm telling you, those conversations are so crazy. Go ahead, Naz.
So I called it, right? Like you said. I said that this was the day Usos lost their belts. And the reason why I say that is because when everything went down at the Rumble, right? Sammy stopping Roman, Jay walking out, everything that came up after that, like Roman telling Jimmy, like, hey, if you don't find your brother, it's on you. If you don't get him back, it's on you. You started seeing those seeds of Roman already starting to have this mental separation from his bloodline. Everything started becoming about Solo. Like during that whole time, everything was like Solo was there, and we saw it in Raw after Mania. Heyman lied to the Usos, which we already knew that's what he was doing. Before he walks back in, he's like, "I took care of it, Chief, my tribal chief." Like we already knew that this was gonna happen. Like the way Roman gets dethroned is they have to kill the bloodline, but they have to kill the bloodline first before the throne happens. And it starts with the Usos because what Solo has going on, minus being the enforcer. He has nothing going on. So getting rid of Solo to start off the separation of the bloodline just kind of doesn't give the story credibility. You have to get rid of the Usos because
Makes
everything
sense.
started
Yeah,
with the Usos. It started with
Jay.
main event Jay, Jimmy trying to save his brother, and then like all this weird shit. But yeah, that's the only reason why I came to the conclusion that this was the night. Because what else, as far as the tag teams go and the Uso story with the whole bloodline thing, what else can you do to juice the story up? This was as full as it could get. This was the moment, and they did the right thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think I didn't make the cast before, but I'd agree with you then too that I thought that the Usos were going to be losing the titles with everything going on at hand because we've been saying it for months. The only way the bloodline falls is if they kill each other, and that's what really we're about to see start playing out, right? Uh, one thing in the bloodline story I haven't really fully comprehend or liked was is how committed Jimmy is. Because when Jimmy first came back, he wasn't with it at all. He was trying to tell Jay, like, bro, we're the Usos, bro. We don't need Roman. Like, we've done this without him. We'll keep doing it without him. Like, we don't need to be his pawns. We don't need to do blah, blah, blah. And then all that stuff with Sammy happened, and Jimmy backed Roman like he was originally Jay, and Jay was the one that had the problem. Which we've always seen Jay go back and forth with his conflicts. Like, do I need to be the second guy, or am I the guy? So it's we start week to week. We've been seeing. I don't remember who it was in this group. It might have been Nas, might have been Mario, maybe even Todd. Someone made the comment about Jay only stuck with Jimmy because he didn't want Roman to take Jimmy out, which I fully believe.
Good
I
point.
believe that. I
Mario
believe.
said it.
Yes, I remember who said it. I know someone else said it though, and that's a great point. I believe it. I think Jay was looking out for his real brother. I don't want my brother to get killed by the tribal chief. I'm gonna stick with you. Whatever, we'll do this thing. And now I think we're seeing, like you said, Roman kind of separating himself from the full complexity of the bloodline and focusing on Solo. Now, I made this pitch a long time ago when Solo first came on the scene. Solo was sent by the elders. So when it's time for the elders to say Roman's no longer the guy, Solo gonna kill him.
Yeah.
So him putting all of his trust in Solo, who by the way everybody knows is the Usos' younger brother. So once Roman start get the cap in and start hitting, taking out the brothers one by one, Solo gonna feel a type of way. And if the elders feel like he's disgracing the family, Roman gotta get got. So it's playing out beautifully. It is. It's I love this story, bro. I don't want this story to end for another year. I want to see WrestleMania next year.
I just thought about something that's gonna back your whole theory of the elders sent Solo. That main event match that Roman had in Hell in a Cell with Jay. Jimmy came out, was choking him out, all this shit. I think it was an I Quit match.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened after the match?
He got the elders are on the stage.
The elders were on the stage and crowned him, but I think that was part of the seats. You know what? Let
me in a Samoan sense, right? You know when Roman Reigns like wrestles, not in the pay-per-views, he just wrestles. Like he comes out with his black pants and his glove, right? But when he comes out for a main event, he has this red necklace. That is given to the head chief of a village. So the time when he went up there, and God was saying this because you're bringing me back to that time, and I was so proud to be a Samoan that day. He walks up to this ramp, and he has the elders, Alpha and Sika, there, and they crowned him as the chief of the family. It gives him that necklace, which is called a ula in Samoan. You give him that ula, and now you're telling everyone in that family he is the chief. So basically, that's the significance of that. I just wanted to bring it up while you were talking to keep going with that.
Now, what I'm thinking is, all right. So let's play like this. Out of everybody in the Samoan dynasty, Roman beats Jay, and he becomes the chief. So what are you telling me? Jay would have this high ass power that if you beat Jay, you're the chief. There's other Samoans that as far as like, let's get into like kayfabe. Let's get into story like just wrestling. You would think that if Roman beat The Rock, he'll get that chip, but he beat Jay. He beat Jay, a tag team wrestler. His whole career, he beat Jay and became the chief. I think they're gonna circle back. Actually, still running shit back here.
I think the one thing, I don't want to argue against you at that, but you gotta remember time frames, right? When Roman was being what he is now, right? So that ship sailed. The first year should have been it. They didn't do it.
2 years ago.
It shipped. It would have been cool if they did it then. Now I feel like it's just forced. We're just trying to get money out of it, whatever. Whatever it's a business, that's what they're gonna do anyways. But I think the whole significance of Roman being crowned the chief for beating Jay was because of the stance of where Roman was in the industry. And then he was fighting his own family for a top spot. So I think making him the chief was, this is our way of telling the rest of your family, the rest of your tribe, to fall in line, not to tear you down. Because, I mean, think about it. They had a guy who was at the top, and his own family was trying to take him off of it, trying to bring him down. So I think crowning him as the chief right there just told your family, hey, fall in line. Do as he says, because now he's the chief, right? And instead of letting them keep killing each other, because you can't stay at the top if you don't have support, right? And they understand that, being as rich in the industry as they are. So I guess the only caveat to that is like, yeah, he's a chief for beating Jay because that was his own family. That was a sign of family fall in line. There's no questions asked. But Roman said it himself when he had that match against Drew. He didn't ask Solo to come, even though Solo was coming. Solo was told by the elders to come. So Solo's only there, not to fall in line, but because the elders told him to. So, yeah, Solo's doing what Roman asks, but he still answers to the elders, not Roman. So when it comes down to it, when the elders want to, it's going to happen.
It makes sense. It makes so much sense.
When Roman abuses his village and takes advantage of his people, what happens when that happens in any government?
They fight back.
Now, I have a question. So you saw how Roman smacked Sammy when he didn't follow his order. Then he smacked Jay when Jay didn't follow his order. Is it gonna take for Roman to smack Jimmy? Like, are they gonna just keep going down the line where he's gonna smack up all of them?
Maybe because Jay and Roman already had their issues with the getting smacked or whatever. But I think Jay seeing Jimmy gets, because like I said, I still think he only came back to Bloodline to protect Jimmy. So once Roman lays his hands on Jimmy, I think Jay gonna snap, and then that's where Solo becomes a pivotal point because Roman's so lenient on him right now. So once that happens and the Usos are fully against the Chief, they're in rebellion mode. Solo's got the elders in one ear, and then he has his own personal ties where these are my brothers. This isn't just the village anymore. These are my brothers. And he's got to make a decision, right? But I still think it becomes a scene where the elders feel Roman has overstepped his command. He's disgracing his family. We need to take care of it.
Now, you ready for
Man,
this? You remember my first show that I came on after Rumble, or I think it was after Rumble, my first show. What did I say? I'm like, when this story ends, it's gonna be Solo to screw Roman. I made that point. I stand by it. It's gonna be Solo.
It's
Solo's
got to,
gonna.
right? It's got to. It's got to. It's got to be a domino, but the end result is going to have to be Solo. I agree.
after what Raw after Mania happened, and I already put it out on that group that everything is making sense to me now. And I'll explain once we talk about night two and we get into Roman's match. So that's what we're gonna do. Before I even start with night two, I'm gonna ask, and you guys gotta give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if you want to talk, because I already know that I only want to talk about 3 matches in this one. So Belair, Asuka, you want to talk about it, Tim? What you have take on there if you want to.
My biggest take was just at the end, Bianca giving all the flowers to Asuka. I thought that I
Oh,
don't want
that's
to
a
say
good
it
point.
hurt. I don't want to say it hurt Bianca, but Bianca, you the EST. What you giving other people flowers for? That's the only thing
I,
I wanted to point out.
I actually got to do something to say. It has nothing to do with the match. The entrance, that post conference, that girl, the one of the dancers, her mom had passed away in that morning. She was still out there doing the show.
Oh,
Wow,
That girl is gonna go places. That girl's gonna go
for
places.
sure.
Being able to go through that trauma
when
and to
we're old
still
and
go
gray,
out there.
when we're old and gray and she grows up, they're gonna bring her up one day, and we're gonna come back to this and be like, that's the little girl from WrestleMania 39. So you made a great point, Nas. You did.
Yeah, I had to bring that up just because
It
I
is
don't know what
crazy.
it's like to lose a parent, but 2 years ago I lost my older brother. Um, yeah, and I look back because I got his picture there, but just finding this is the trauma. Like as an adult, I couldn't deal with it. I could just imagine what that girl experienced.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember I lost my stepfather when I was 10, bro, and I couldn't imagine doing no regular stuff at this type of level, just like nonchalant. Like I lost my grandfather the week before, so I was a mess. Like I couldn't imagine doing that. So you're right, man. Like that mentally strong and capable at that
I
age, bro.
I try
Unlimited.
I tried to avoid that part, Nas, because I was trying to stay away from the emotions, because I can relate to both. I can relate to what you just said. Being young, you couldn't imagine being young, losing, but you did as an adult. I lost my mom as an adult. I lost my dad at 6, so I've seen both, and I could never do what that little girl did in my life. Because once I understood what death was at 6 years old, I don't even know how old she was. She's probably a little younger than 6. But at 6 years old, when I lost my father, as soon as I found out what that meant, what death meant, I was just not the right person. My mom had to put me in counseling and everything. So I can only imagine what she was going through. But for her to tough it out, for her to not let her team like down, and still went out there and performed. And you didn't even notice that she lost her mom through her smile. Because she ended up being the center of attention, if you see.
yeah,
Like I pray for that family. It's just tough because like I said, I've dealt that as a little kid, losing my pops, and for her to do that, man, I can. She's more tougher than I was. I'll tell you like that. It's way
I had
tougher,
to
man.
bring that up, man, because when Triple H spoke about it, seeing Triple H get choked up had me choked up at 12:30 at night in my bed. My wife's like, "Why the hell are you so sad?" And I'm like, "You gotta watch this."
But
I'm
it's
over here
true
like,
though. It's
like,
true.
bro, like I can't just imagine what that little girl was going through that morning.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up, but I know we don't want to talk about that. Um, no back mountain. Raquel Rodriguez tag team matches. Shout out to Mario who gets annoyed by her shoulder blades. Shout
Fat
out to
back
her.
Rodriguez.
So we're not gonna talk about that one. I just don't want to even talk about Edge and Finn. It was a disappointment because of the injury that happened, and that was a trend night too. You know what I mean? So, Edge versus Finn, I gave it a 3.5 star. I wasn't impressed, but I understand now after you guys showed me the picture because I'm let me see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I am 3 days away from bringing back to social media, y'all, and I'm about to tear some shit up because I know my friends are talking shit, and I'll bring that up later. But go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, highly disappointed in the Edge and Balor match, man. It wasn't just Edge versus Balor; it was Edge versus Demon Balor. Like, what are we doing, bro? Like, you don't get this character maybe once every other year, bro. Why in the hell is he losing to a end of the career, no progress to be had from winning this match, Edge? Like, and we missed on that, right? So Ray beating Dom. Understand the storyline. The dad needed to get his backs, but that's one loss to Judgment Day. And they each around let Finn lose the Edge for no good reason. So now Judgment Day, who when it was first formed looked like it was supposed to be this super group, is still stagnant. We still got no tread for them. What are we doing? Why is the Judgment Day losing every damn match? Like, it doesn't do anything. Like, why even have them? Just get rid of them. We don't even need.
Period.
Just get rid of them.
Period. Period.
Like, go drop them in singles, bro. Get rid of the faction. It's useless.
Judgment Day is
I
starting to
think
remind me of Hurt Business. No credibility.
yeah, but even the Hurt Business, right? The Hurt Business never really got established.
Yeah.
Like, they were only very short. Like, we've seen Judgment Day for what, damn near 9 months, 10 months now. Like, there's no reason they shouldn't have something by now. Her business was very, very short. It didn't last long at all.
It was just Bobby's reign, pretty much, is when it had its
it-
popularity.
Right. They never did it. They never really did anything as a faction either. They was just Bobby being the champion, and these are my guys that helped me be the champion. But like, it was very short lived. It wasn't very much. But like Judgment Day, you've seen for 10+ months now.
Good
They've
point.
talked about we're the guys on this. This is our show. Like, but you're losing every damn major match. Like, there's a difference between being a jobber and doing nothing. And right now they're doing nothing. Like, because they're not jobbing. Nothing is gained from Edge beating them. Nothing is gained from Ray beating Dom. But that's a different storyline. I understand why Ray beat Dom. Months and months of Dom beating on him, and Ray refusing to hit his son until he finally snaps. Okay, I get it. But like, Finn losing the Edge just makes zero sense to me, bro. Like, I don't get it. And it's like the fifth time we've seen the damn match. We're tired of it. We don't want to see it no more. I hate to say it because I love him. I don't even want to see Edge no more. Dude's washed. It's unfortunate he lost his career from his injuries, but he's washed, bro. It's time for him to hang him up. It's time.
Totally agree. Totally agree. When it comes to that match, like I said, it was 3.5 stars, and y'all know I'm a huge Finn Balor fan. Prince Devitt all day. You know what I'm saying? Since Bullet Club like this. I was just didn't know about this injury. You know, they took the little spot away from it, and I'm like, what's going on? This shit is trash. And I may or may not had a little bit of drinks in me at the time, so I was a little bit pissed. That that was one of the matches I was looking forward to that night, and it didn't deliver. And to see the picture, I don't know. I think it was you, Tim, that showed or Mario. Someone showed the picture of the split head. I'm like, nice split head of Finn. I'm like, sheesh. Now I get it. And then we saw another picture of him where while the camera was gone, is the doctor's trying to fucking patch it up real quick for the rest of that match. So I get it. We were robbed from that ladder match. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, but my bad now, so I don't want to step on you now. But
You're
like,
good.
even even with him being hurt, he still lost. Like, I've been cool with it
Yeah,
if we
that's
didn't
the
get the
point.
moments we thought we were gonna get, and he won. Like, yeah, the match didn't live up to the hype, but at least Balor won. He still lost, bro. Like,
Yeah,
like, that's the most disappointing part to me is because
it
I
makes
ain't gonna
sense
come
what you
out with
said.
it even.
Yeah,
Like, why even come out with Demon if he's gonna lose, bro? Like,
it makes a lot of sense. I agree. Go ahead, Ness.
So Demon, he's had a shitty run on the main roster. I'm just gonna say that, and he's lost to Roman. Understandable, in the middle of Roman's run. Understandable. He lost to Roman. That he get like Tim said, he get nothing out of losing to Edge. And for that, he should have just fought regular and just fought Hell in a Cell. There's a reason why Finn didn't do Demon versus Brock Lesnar and Royal Rumble that year. Because he knew he wasn't winning and there was no point of destroying the hype of the Demon. If the Demon loses, it doesn't become special anymore. What was special about the Demon? He never fucking lost. He's the first Universal Champion as the Demon, not even as regular Finn. They didn't trust regular Finn. He had to use the Demon, and he was Universal Champion. Unfortunately, Seth's stupid buckle bomb, which I hate that move to this day because it hurt Finn, it hurt Sting. Like, fuck. But yes, Demon Finn should have won that match to give Judgment Day some credibility because they're just running and throwing Judgment Day down our throats. We understood why Dom needed to lose. Ray needed to whoop his son's ass, give him that old school Latino ass whooping with the correa. His mother should have threw a chancleta. Aaliyah should have got in there with a broomstick and gave him some cocotazos. Should have did something. Like, we knew Dom was losing. We knew when Ray came out with Eddie's music, if Ray lost, people would have just left Mania. Like, they let Ray come out with Eddie's music. He shouldn't have fucking lost. So, okay, cool. But Demon Finn, you get the fucking WrestleMania entrance. You get the Demon in Hell in a Cell. Like, Demon in Hell in a Cell.
like one quick question too, because I don't know if I missed it. Did we ever see the heartbeat in that match?
No.
The iconic "I'm down, I think I'm out," doom doom, and he just comes back and kills you. Like, we never even got that, bro. Like,
Disappointment, and it gets worse when Tim keeps talking about it because
Yeah.
now he's putting seeds in my head, thinking about like how and you're doing the same thing, Naz. It's how we're shrinking the immortalization of the Demon. Like, it's crazy to see. We gotta move forward with this. I can't believe we talked about that because we still. I don't want to talk about Brock Omos. Do y'all? It's just surprising though, because I watched the interview with Daniel Cormier that Brock said what you text him. He said he's here now. He's like, if I'm gonna title, that's sweet. But right now, I'm here to give back to the business and I'm here to help the youth. And for Brock Lesnar to say that, that's pretty cool. I honestly like that because he has nothing to prove no more. He doesn't need a title. He doesn't need any of that. But for his name to mean something with another young person coming up. Like, I can see Brock versus Austin Theory for the belt, where he keeps helping Austin Theory's momentum. I can see that. I can see a lot of that. This match was trash, but it was impressive to see him F5 that dude. That was pretty cool. Go ahead.
that dude need to get out the business, man. Not Brock. I want Omos. You know what's crazy too, bro? The nerve of Vincent Kennedy McMahon to bring that dude back on the ball after Mania and squash someone. Bro, he just lost.
Yeah.
Like, stop it. He's not that guy. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, they really had the nerve to bring this dude on and put him in a squash match. Like, he was the real deal. Like, Brock didn't just beat him. Like,
The night before.
like, bro, get out the damn business. You're taking up TV time from real talent. Like, stop it, bro.
Fuck it.
Never
Yeah.
You know what hurts my soul?
That man.
How did Almost get a match on Mania, but Bobby was pushed back to the
That's
Andre? They should have gave Almost the Andre the Giant Battle Room Memorial bullshit.
They should
That's a
have
good
gave him a
point.
cut. They should have released him from the company. Like, come on, bro.
That's a good point, though. If say we don't cut him, I think the roles reversing of Bobby and we all wanted that. We all two matches I saw Brock having. It was Brock and Bobby again, or Brock and freaking Gunther. That's what I wanted to see Brock in. And they gave us almost who needs to almost get cut. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. But to your point, though, Naz, if you guys gave him that Andre the Giant trophy, that's good for him. Like you could have that on SmackDown, but he shouldn't have a WrestleMania moment with Hall of Fame UFC slash wrestler and Brock Lesnar. It should have been Bobby. I really think that Bobby, if Raw versus after Mania happened, I thought Bobby should have came out raging on somebody. He should have had a squash match. Anybody else want to say something before I go into this next match?
Before you get to the next match, because the next two are good ones. Let's talk about this Shane McMahon segment, dude.
Oh, I'm gonna say it because that's a Tim. See, no, I'm not even gonna say it. Tim, go ahead and talk about the improvising. I can't say the word of Snoop because you brought that up.
Bro. So when I seen it, bro, I put it in the cast. I'll admit, I thought it was a work. I thought Shane was faking injury, and that was planned. But then I went back and rewatched it, and I was like, "Yo, Shane really hurt himself." And then I really thought about it and was like, "Yo, for Snoop to just do that on the spot is wild."
Triple H
And
brought it up.
then, like Nas said, at 12:30 at night, Triple H sat at that table and said, "My hat's off to Snoop to be a part of this business. He's been around for a while, so for him to adjust like that, my hat's off to that guy." Like, and that, yo, Snoop a legend, bro. And like to know in that moment, like, hey, the show gotta go on. Somebody gotta do something. So that's wild that he even, and it's even crazier too. Is Miz didn't even miss a beat, bro. He just went with it like immediately. Like it was great. Like unfortunate for Shane, but for Snoop to go ahead and know and be aware to do that, end it like that was
So
phenomenal.
my take on that before Nas go, because Nas was about to say something. My take was I think Miz helped with this, right? He probably saw that and he probably looked at it like, "Hey man, punch me real quick," and then he turned around and said, "Fuck."
I didn't see a moment like that though. I
Oh,
just
okay,
seen Luke
okay.
in the ring and was like, "Oh, you think it's funny? My guy's hurt," and just hit him. Like there was no like, there was nothing between. Now, see, Snoop was off the camera, so it could discredit me, and there could have been someone on the outside that told Snoop, "Hey, go in there, beat up Miz." Miz is a professional; he'll go along. Like he knows he's supposed to lose, maybe, but there was no communication really between Miz and Snoop. Snoop just hit him. Miz got up and like act like he's gonna get in his face again. He hit him again, and then he did the
With elbow.
crypto, the crypto.
Crypto. Go ahead, Nas.
So I know there's usually people outside the ring that have headset, like subtle headset, to get information from the back in case things like that happen. Because when I was wrestling in Kansas, we had one of the security guards. All the security guards, 'cause I did security, like paying my dues. All the security guards had a mic, but only one person could hear the gorilla position. In case anything happened, that they relay that to one of the guards. So I'm assuming in those few seconds, because it was quick, those few seconds where Snoop was off camera, because remember the refs are mic'd up too. As soon as Shane went down and Shane was like, "Yeah, I'm really hurt," I'm pretty sure the refs was like, cross arms" type shit. You already know, you see this shit is a problem.
It's
But
real.
you don't want to throw that shit up during Mania, because then it's like, fuck, a whole segment is lost. I think they just quickly said, "Hey, improvise." Because you're right, Miz, he sold the shit out of him getting punched twice, and it was great. I felt like that segment was golden.
It was a
Because
golden
when
man.
when Snoop took those fucking shades off, it was Mr. Lemur from Madagascar, bro, straight lemur.
Which goes back to we missed on night one. I love Pat came back. I can't wait. I want Pat more real fights. I want him back full time. I miss him. I miss Pat.
We need a celebrity death match with Bunny, him, and Logan. I would
And I
love
can
to
say
see that.
this: there's a testament to Miz, to where he's at in this business and how the WWE sees him. Host of WrestleMania and got punched in the mouth by 5 people in 3 nights. I love it.
He's good, man. I respect the hell out of the Miz, man. I really do. I really like him. And the characters he portrays. So we're going to these next 2 matches, the ones that we all knew day 2 was going to be held by. Intercontinental triple threat match between three Europeans who just was beating the shit out of each other all night long. Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus. I I just knew this was 5 star. This is literally a 5 star match of, and every single one of them had a fucking red chest at the end of this. It was just brutal, and I loved it. I loved this whole match. They're all three of them are main eventers, right? They are main event type talents fighting for my favorite title of all time is the IC. They're making it prestigious. I don't like the design, but that's one of my favorite titles of all time. And for them to fight it, knowing that they're all besides Gunther, they're all former world champions, right? And Royal Rumble winners. Gunther's getting his momentum even pushed even more to be a main eventer. And there's going to be a time where Gunther is going to be up there in that main event, and it's going to be soon. I really see him this season before WrestleMania that he's going to be starting to fight for that title, man, because he's held his weight. He has his two boys to back him up in Imperium, and we all agree like he's that guy. He's next up, and him and I can see, like I said, when we talked about night one, you you I can see Austin Theory and Gunther going toe to toe for the world titles for years to come. Like I said, it reminds me of the John Cena JBL times. You know, the bigger guy versus the most popular guy, and I just see it. It's beautiful to see. That match was beautiful to see. Kudos to Gunther. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna pass the Nas because I was writing my paper during this match, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I missed it. I had to go back and watch it. I was, periodically looking up, but I didn't get to fully experience it and watch it because I told y'all I couldn't get on the cast because I had stuff I had to knock out, and I was still doing it during Mania, so I missed out, man. So go ahead now.
All right. So this match, let's just say my chest still hurts just watching it. But before I really get into this match, how much do you guys watch NXT or NXT UK when it was a thing?
Movie. I definitely do.
So there was a takeover. If I'm not mistaken, it was Takeover Blackpool where Gunther fought Ilya Dragunov.
Walter fought Eli Dragunov.
Yes, Walter. Big boy Walter fought Ilya Dragunov. And
Yes.
that fucking match, while I was watching this triple threat match, that's all I could think of. The chops.
Yeah,
The
that was a good
hard
match.
hitting.
That was a
And
great match.
just to think, you got three big ass dudes hitting each other like that, and I'm thinking of a skinny dude who was doing the same thing that they were doing. I feel Ilya Dragunov needs to come to the main roster and do part 2 with Gunther now.
Gunther.
Like I said, this match they were just beating the shit out of each other. When Sheamus was doing the
Chops.
the bells of what the hell they call it when he's fist like straight pounding on your chest on
The
the ropes.
Bells of Belfast? Is it? I forgot what it's called.
It's like the bells or some shit. But when he did that shit almost 30 times, I'm like, he's about to jump this dude's heart, bro. He's about to Damar Hamlin his ass in the wrestling ring. He need to chill the fuck out.
Chill,
hitting
man. Chill, man.
Bro.
Sheesh.
He was hitting the shit out of fucking Drew.
Oh, man.
Look, he had to put the camera down. Bro, he was hitting him hard. It was scaring me, bro. I'm like, yo, he's hitting him too hard, bro.
This man
Like,
here.
Hey, bro, chill, man.
10 times was enough, bro, but he did it like 28 times, bro.
Hey, man.
Bro, I don't got no filter, man. That's why y'all want me on this shit. He was hitting the shit out of him.
He doesn't either. That's the funny part. That's why he's laughing with his dark comedic ass.
Bro, I'm watching. I'm sitting right where I'm sitting at, and I'm like, ooh, all right, 10 times, 11, 12. I'm like, oh, he about
It
to
was
kill him,
28,
bro.
wasn't it? It was 28.
It was like 28, yeah. And I'm like, oh, nah, bro. If I'm in that match, I'm fighting for real, bro. I'm not chopping no more. I'm punching him in his face. You gonna try to kill me? Nah, but I'm happy Gunther won. I'm a mark for Sheamus. I kind of want the Sheamus to win. Sheamus needs something. in my opinion. Like, yeah, he got Butch in and this other pendejo, I forgot his name, but the one who hurt
Roderick.
Biggie, Rich Holland, Rich
That's
Holland.
how I said Roderick.
Um, no, that's Undisputed Era. I miss those guys. But yeah, I'm a mark for Sheamus. When Sheamus and Cesaro were a tag team, I love that, and they started with them beefing with each other and realizing that they're a good tag team. Um, but yeah, I could something talking about Cesaro. What the fuck's he doing in AEW? He needs to come back and get in this little battle shot because I could see Cesaro having great matches with
You
Gunther
don't
too.
watch AEW?
I don't.
Cesaro on heel mode right now, bro.
Yeah, he's a
He
bad
going
guy
wild
right now.
over there. He going wild over there. Hey,
Yeah.
Claudio. He's doing great
Yeah.
things. We never seen Claudio like this, like as a heel. And now they got Bryan Danielson back, like the full Blackpool is back. Yeah, you need to watch that. It's really good. It's one of the things that I watch over there. I barely watch AEW anymore because a lot of the storylines are stupid. But when it comes to the
I used
Blackpool, I have to watch because I'm a huge Cesaro fan myself. Like I always, since he was a Paul Heyman guy, I used to love watching his work. And I respected his work. He wasn't really good on the mic, but him in ring was always great. And I brought that up. What you're saying, Naz, is I could see a fatal four way if Cesaro was still here in that matchup. He would have added some more elements too as well.
Yeah, I used to watch AEW before they got on television, but like I guess I'm just so used to the production value of WWE that AEW for me is they don't have the same standard as like the television value, the production, the way they like record their matches, the camera cuts. They fuck up a lot.
All right,
Yeah,
so we're going
yeah.
for what Tim said, the main event of the evening. We're gonna talk about Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and I'm gonna tell you like this before y'all bail. Social media. I haven't been on social media for 40 days, or by Sunday it would be 40 days and 40 nights because I gave it up for Lent. But I know there's 2 to 3 people I know who are Roman Reigns haters and been begging for Cody Rhodes to win this. But I always said one thing. What did I tell you, Naz? What was always the thing? 1,000. A
Yeah.
thousand. 1,000 is the key. They will not drop the ball on this because they've invested 3 years and some change on this reign. Why would you shortchange it at WrestleMania for not making 1,000? Because only a few handful of people made 1,000. Hogan, Vogt's favorite. Then you have Bob. Then you have what's his name? I can't even think of his name right now. I was about to say Don
Bruno.
Bronco, but Bruno Sammartino. To Tim's point, I think it happens, but to Tim's point, he wants Roman to pass Hogan, but for him to pass Hogan, he has to reign for another year. The 1,400 plus, I wouldn't mind because I like Bloodline, but I think it's done by SummerSlam. Roman wins. That's a long spot coming from the person that got banned from the ring from Solo. Cody's disappointed. Everyone's trolling, talking about him. Like you guys keep showing me all the stuff in the chats. But I saw this happening because we always say it. This is not going to finish at Mania. It's finishing at SummerSlam. And what happened at Raw after Mania made more sense than ever. Cody gets hit by the Beast. Now you have Cody taking the time to go against Brock to get his. You keep talking about it now. It's credibility. Now he gets to slay the Beast and stall time so that Roman has the storyline with his Uso cousins. Because now we're going to see Solo. For me, this is my prediction. We see Solo and Roman versus the Usos. And when they fight each other in this next Backlash, you see Solo turn on Roman and finally realizes like, hey man, these are my brothers we're fighting. I don't think I want to do this. Now Roman's himself, because if you remember the promo from Monday, Cody said I was this close to beating you, and you had an advantage with this guy, and he pointed at Solo. So now you even the playing field at SummerSlam because now the bloodline's done. It's Heyman and Roman versus Cody, and that's where I think the pop for Cody is going to happen. Go ahead.
Not Backlash. I don't. It's too early. I don't think it's Backlash. I think it's Money in the Bank is where we see Solo turn on Roman, and then SummerSlam ultimately. I agree. I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
SummerSlam happens, but I don't think it's Backlash that we see all that. I don't think we see any of that till Money in the Bank.
That's
As
that's May,
June.
June. It's June. Okay, yeah. So
Well,
that makes sense. The timing. But what do you see that backlash then for Roman? Do you think Roman? Of course, they're in Puerto Rico. Roman has to fight somebody. They've
no,
never been to Puerto Rico. Remind
you
me
don't have to.
if I'm wrong. This is the first time
You
they
don't have
ever
to
been to
find
Puerto Rico.
anybody. You don't have to
But
find anybody, and he's not going to because who who right now is just going to randomly jump in the picture?
see, you're thinking of the storyline version. I'm thinking of business. Like you're going to Puerto Rico for the first time ever, right? As far as main events, like you
Who?
have to bring your champion. That's what I'm saying. That's why I brought that up. That tag team
Bring
match.
Seth back for no good reason?
Seth?
You know what's main eventing Backlash?
No. It's going to
Brock
be Bad
Cody.
Bunny. Who?
Brock Cody.
Yeah, see? Roman's
Okay,
not
that
gonna
makes
do
sense. That makes sense. So we're
Brock
basically
Cody.
saying Backlash has nothing to do with Bloodline, basically.
Roman's not doing anything until SummerSlam. I mean,
Mhm.
out with the title. He's not
I
doing anything
think
until SummerSlam.
if Roman has a match prior to SummerSlam, it's going to be in Saudi, just because they asked for the champions to be represented there,
Sure.
and it's going to be a squash match against somebody. They're going to build up some stupid ass story for King of the Ring, but they
Or
they'll do something to throw in Uso solo bullshit in there.
or so Backlash is Brock and Cody.
Yeah,
Do we? There's a lot of predictions. I'm about to start asking questions about Money in the Bank being number one. We all think Cody wins that, right? Like it's a waste, but we think he wins it, right?
So
Ah,
all right, hold on. You talking about predictions? So I've been thinking about this since Raw after Mania. You brought up Money in the Bank. I had this fucking crazy ass take, which was probably gonna blow you guys' mind. I don't know, but I had Cody winning Money in the Bank. I had him, not doing a random cash in, doing one of those. I'm facing you at SummerSlam. He loses at SummerSlam, so they could do the John Cena redemption bullshit because they've been throwing it. I've been seeing it all over social. The John Cena redemption story that he had with Rock. He lost to Rock. Rock gets the title. It's different because Roman has the title already, but I think you said 1,000. What about 1,500? Let's get to next year Mania and PA. And in the same weekend, Heyman gets fucking inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Well, and I was more trying to figure out, right? Because I still stand on my stance about the whole Cody not winning on his first try, and I've always been against winning on the second try. I've always been one that I want to see a wrestler actually come up and come through.
Redeem himself.
And Cody, no offense to him, it ain't his fault they booked him this way. But dude just not lost it to Mania in his first title shot. So and he's only ever faced what 3 people. He's only faced Seth like a bunch of times. He faced Solo, and I don't. They have to sit it right. Like he's only
He's had a few Raw matches.
like no, it doesn't matter matches though, right? Like that's
Oh
what
yeah. Just
like he hasn't
just
had
for the pop match.
he hasn't had these big matches, right? So what if we get Backlash, Brock and Cody,
Yeah.
and then there's
He,
Saudi,
he
right?
loses.
Well, let's say he wins, he beats Brock because remember Brock's at the point where he's putting people over. So Cody beats
Yeah.
Brock.
I think Brock is
Straight
gonna let
over.
him get his shit in, but I don't think Cody's winning. They have to do this like he's in the dirt bullshit. Like
So
he's still affected.
what I was getting at was what if we get to see Cody Reigns and Saudi, but Brock interferes. Brock gets in there because he's mad that he lost. Whatever. Takes him out. Gets this. Reigns gets disqualified. Keeps his title. Blah blah. They move on to the next pay per view, which is Money in the Bank. Which is where Cody hatches the plan. Let me win Money in the Bank. I get this match. I get the stipulations, so no one can interfere. Like I don't know. Maybe we put him in a Hell in a Cell. No one can interfere. Maybe we do X Y Z. Like the way where Cody's been robbed every time he's got a title shot for 2 or 3 times until finally beating him. That could be SummerSlam. That could be somewhere else. I mean, if it's not SummerSlam, it's got to be Mania, right?
How about this? Because the Saudi pay per view is King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, right?
Oh, Cody wins that. He just wins that.
What if you do like
Gauntlet?
this is why I say Cody loses to Brock at Backlash, so that the final of the King of the Ring is Cody Brock.
I don't see
Credibility.
Brock. I don't see Brock in the King of the Ring. Usually, the King of the Ring is for someone to elevate the next talent coming up. That's usually what the purpose of King of the Ring is, though.
I can't see Cody losing to anybody because it destroys all of everything that he has right now, and that's.
I think he goes on a tear for anyone that's in front of him.
If you want him to be the guy to take the title, he can't lose to no one else.
Yeah.
Because once he does, I ain't believing he beat Roman. I don't give a damn.
I can tell you right now,
I don't give a damn.
With Pito Stash Vince being back,
Yeah, of course.
I have to expect the worst. I have to expect the worst.
What? You're right. Brock might beat Cody, go on to Saudi, win King of the Ring, then win Money in the Bank and get his match. You know,
really think about this, right? Like from one day to the next, you have fucking Roman and Cody are main eventing Mania, and Brock is facing Amos, and then the next day, you have Brock just destroying Cody. That's a Vince thing.
What's up with that chicken, bro? I know someone threw it, but why? What's the story on that?
There is a thing from Indies, indie thing. From what I've been reading about it, it's something from the Indies that happened.
I was like, bro, what's this about?
But yeah, like I have a feeling that Vince is gonna destroy Rhodes as much as he can. He gave him his little show. He gave him his welcome back. We're gonna make you feel big, and then when I come back, I'm gonna fucking destroy you.
Hey, I don't like it, man. All I know is he wants his pictures from Peter Parker of Spider-Man. That's all he wants.
Hey, so any last comments before we close the show? I think we did well with predictions. A lot of our predictions that happened for WrestleMania happened for the most part. Any last comments before we close this out?
Yeah, I want to go back because we kind of got ahead of ourselves. We never that Rhodes and Roman fight match, whatever you want to call it. Outstanding, great storytelling, perfect way to end it. Because I'm on record multiple times. I didn't think Cody should have won the first match, so I think that's the only way you make him lose. You don't make him just lose straight up. Make him lose like that. It's perfect. I loved it. I loved it.
Good point.
Nas has got me upset now because I keep forgetting that Pedo Vince is back on his bull. So I just hope the production, the product we've been getting continues to be great because it's been fun the last 4 months, and I don't want this to die, but you got my hopes down again. So
yeah, I'm a realist, right? I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping that it was just a one night thing, like, let me celebrate, Endeavor and all this stupid shit that's happening with the company. Let me write some shit. Let me feel like I'm important again. And then after this week, you could do whatever the fuck you want. But I don't see that happening. I really see Vince coming back in the chair and kind of telling Triple H, hey, go run NXT with Shawn and leave me Raw and SmackDown. Like, I made this happen. This is my thing now. Like, without me, there was no deal with and honestly, they didn't need to sell the company. The company is doing fucking great. Look at what just happened at Mania. All the records they broke.
I said this a long time ago. Vince is an old, bitter man who refuses to let anybody else eat off his plate. And it's, bro, this is your son-in-law and your daughter, bro. And they're running the company outstanding. You can't do anything. Like, you can't let nobody have nothing.
That's an ego thing.
It's all about himself, bro. Like I said when he first made the announcement, he wanted to sell. I'm like, this dude is so damn bitter that he won't let someone else run his company. He'd rather sell it than let them run it. Like,
I know it was a bad thing when Stephanie stepped down and then like the next day Vince was back like to try to sell the company. I'm like, oh fuck. The thing I love the most is I took a long break from watching wrestling because of the booking, the way Vince was running it. Like some of the storylines didn't make no sense. I was only watching pay-per-views because the pay-per-views wouldn't really let us down. But then again, you had NXT takeovers doing better than the main roster. So that's what, honestly, watching NXT back in 2017, like Joe, Balor, Shinsuke, Bobby Roode when he came back.
Aleister Black, Samoa Joe. That was my time, man. I love the takeovers, bro. Over pay-per-views that time.
at every takeover, like especially when it was like a takeover before a main four, like a
A
SummerSlam or
debut.
Survivor
It was
Series.
a return or a debut.
There was a return or a debut, like that, like NXT Takeover Brooklyn before those New York SummerSlams were the fucking best, bro. Watching Bailey and Sasha go at it for 40 minutes, man, like that got me back into wrestling. And bro, if Vince starts doing creative again, I'm gonna get back to the only watching pay-per-views. I'm not gonna have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I totally agree, and you see how passionate I was when you talked about the black and gold NXT days because I told Tim this like that was my I never watched Monday. I watch it just to watch, but at that time I want to say it was 2016 up to about 2018 2019 when Triple H took creative.
Which is dude they never mentioned to me, by the way. But we
Yeah,
spent 2.5 years
yeah.
together. Mr. Didn't say nothing to me the whole
I
time.
didn't know anyone that knew wrestling at that time, so I kept that to myself. But at that time, it was mainly NXT that I was watching. I was always watching it because Triple H was involved as the creative, and always knowing that he's looking outside at the Indies and bringing these guys in. He brought in Seth Rollins. He brought in Dean Ambrose. He brought in Samoa Joe. He brought in AJ Styles, even though AJ Styles didn't do a thing, but Prince Devitt. Like all these big names like Riddle and Shinsuke. No one knew Shinsuke. No one knew him, and now he's one of the most respected Japanese fighters of all time. Like that was Aleister Black, one of my
Asuka.
favorites. Asuka, Tommy End of Aleister Black, even though he's not what he is now, but those were the days, man. And you made a good point when it comes to creative because Triple H proved it with NXT, and when he left, look what NXT has become ever since. It's boo
Like
boo.
honestly, too, like even he did. Triple H started NXT UK, and yeah, a lot of those wrestlers we didn't know who they were, but we got the likes of Jordan Devlin, well, JD McDonough
JD
now, who had a
McDonough, yeah,
phenomenal. Like, he's a great worker. We got to see Walter again. We got to see Walter in NXT UK. We got
Mustache
I,
Mountain.
we had oh yeah, dude, like Mustache Mountain, Pete Dunne, Butch. Like I want to see Pete Dunne back. I hate Butch. I want Pete Dunne. But like those that right there is what tells me that Triple H is adapting to what's new because people like that shit. People liked NXT UK. I watch it every Wednesday at 12 on my lunch
I
break because we get
I miss this so much. Like the
oh,
undisputed era,
don't get me
bro.
started. Don't get me started, bro. They released so many people that should have never got released. Like we never got to see Undisputed Era on the main roster. And when they fucking invaded SmackDown that year for Survivor Series, when they got stuck in fucking Saudi because of pedo stash Vince's egotistical ways, that Survivor Series was the shit, and it was just because NXT.
NXT. Rhea Ripley, all of them, bro. Oh, that was a good time. That was a good
And
time.
that was when NXT went to die because Vince did not like that shit. That the reason why that show was good was because the NXT stars did their fucking thing.
Yeah.
Because
What
that's when we
a
started seeing the decline.
what a way to end this talking about that. But boys, I can't wait for this next cast. Shout out to Todd out there doing great things, trying to graduate right now. He should be graduating this week, I assume, or something like that.
He should be home. He should be
Uh,
back home by now.
oh yeah, you're right. He already graduated. He's doing the family thing right now. So congratulations to you, Todd. Completing ALC out there. Um, we don't know where Aaron's at. He's probably doing the indie shows in Jamaica or something like that right now. But shout out to him
Having
and
some beers with CM Punk.
yeah, him, CM Punk, and Hilton McCringleberry. Uh, shout out to Mario Kyle, who's defending all waters right now that couldn't be here. Man, I cannot wait. Again, I also want to talk about this before I get off. This is the week of the anniversary of the Subtleflex, and I'm glad that I got some of y'all. But I'm doing an anniversary podcast soon. I want Mario wants to be like he's like, bro, you better not do the anniversary podcast without me. So I'm gonna do it, and I can't wait to get everybody that was involved. I'm trying to get as much as y'all involved. So my boys, I'll see y'all again tomorrow SmackDown. Hopefully we get a better show than this week. But like, comment, subscribe to the Subflex podcast, to the Figure Four show, Must See TV, Nasty Naz. I'll see y'all boys again.